all for coming out this morning. I am Sharon Hightower, to whom you all may not know. I am City Council Representative for District 1. I am also a very good friend of our, the late Carolyn Q. Coleman, who we are here today to dedicate a street in her name and her honor. Today, you will hear from her colleagues, both in civil rights and politics, those she served with and for, her mentees, and her family. Why are we here at 10 o'clock a.m. on a beautiful Saturday morning? And anybody who knew Carolyn knew she didn't do before 10. Okay? We had a lot of that in common, she and I. But simply to honor and establish a legacy for someone who walked among us, a humble icon that was known nationally, throughout the state, and most importantly, right here at home. Yes, Greensboro claims this Savannah, Georgia native as our very own, even though she never let you forget she grew up there by the water. And so we always talked about, I don't like water, she loved water. Why this street? Well, how perfect that it be a street beside the church she attended and helped get built.
Carolyn meant so much to this community. She certainly was a champion for social justice, and it is so befitting that we name something significant so that those who would pass, the visitors or the citizens of Greensboro, would have some glimpse to understand the stature and the work and the legacy of this wonderful champion for social justice.
You know, it's a big deal to name a street after someone. And we want to do it when that person has done a significant impact on our community. And certainly Carolyn Coleman has done that with her life, her legacy, fighting for justice and fighting against injustice. The last road that we named was for Josephine Boyd Bradley. I think it's wonderful as people drive around Greensboro and they see these names that they're going to want to know more about these individuals, learn more about the impact that they've had on our city. And certainly Carolyn's impact is going to be felt for generations to come.
You know, today is a special day. It is July the 9th. And Carolyn Q. Coleman would be celebrating her 80th birthday. You know, it's also fitting that in her absence, we celebrate her birthday today, as this street is named in her memory. And I thank Sharon for telling us all about the way, because you're right, she wanted her way, she had it her way. But it's an opportunity for us to continue her memory every day, but as a lasting reminder to our community of the many struggles that she undertook on our behalf, so that our state, so that our country, our city, and our nation could be a better place for all of us. Indeed, she did that. I was with Carolyn during her last birthday. She celebrated her birthday on July the 9th of 2021. And I remember that she would not disclose her age to me, although she knew and I knew that she was a few years older than I. But my friend and I laughed a lot about that and about so many other things over our 40-year friendship, and I do truly miss her. Carolyn labored tirelessly in this vineyard with her community, with her church family, with her NAACP family, with her sorority, with her son and her grandchildren and her friends, doing thus saith the Lord, for 79 years on this earth before she transitioned to be with the Lord. And today as we rejoice in Carolyn's memory, even as we miss her terribly, We have an opportunity to recommit ourselves by recapturing her strength, her courage, and her teachings and her determination as we look to this troubled world of ours, reminding ourselves of Frederick Douglass, who said, if there's no struggle, there's no progress. Posing the question I pose to you, what would Carolyn do? And so as we unveil the street today, which will bear her name, I can't help but remember my friend and my partner in the struggle, an energetic, outspoken fighter for justice, who was all about making things right and holding others accountable along the way.
Carolyn Coleman was a fighter. She fought for the least of these. She fought for minimum wage, $15 an hour, not for only county employees, but she fought for the bus drivers for the schools. She fought for the cafeteria workers. She said no one can make it when making less than $15 an hour. She got it passed. African American contractors not getting the contracts that they needed or should be getting in the county. She fought for a disparity study, an MWBE program for African American contractors to be able to get contracts from the county. Carolyn Coleman had her way on the county commissioners. Not only here locally, but she was also recognized last year, almost this time, August of last year. She was recognized by the North Carolina Black County Commissioners Association. She received the Frederick Douglass Award for all of the work that she had been doing within our community throughout the state of North Carolina. I'm reminded of the time, and we talked about this when we gave her the award, last year when we had COVID. Carolyn Coleman came up with the idea of feeding 5,000 families. Not 5,000 people, 5,000 families. And the staff said, how can you do that? Carolyn Coleman said, just move out of my way. I'll show you how to do it, okay? And the staff tried to get involved. They tried to help out, to plan for it. And Carolyn, did something that Carolyn didn't like one day. And she called me. She said, Skip, didn't I tell the staff to stay out of my way? I don't need their help. If I need their help, I would ask for their help. Carolyn Coleman, in spite of her challenges, she was at every last one of those feeding programs on Saturdays, giving directions on what to do. Had her car packed with a whole lot of, with as many boxes you can get into it, and her to go and delivering those boxes herself. Okay, Carolyn Coleman had her way. That's the kind of person that we are honoring today.
You know, this is just yet another chapter in the Carolyn Q. Coleman book. Just another chapter. The book started in Savannah, and it has historical pages of how she fought segregation, how she risked her own life for segregation. There are chapters in the book of her many years and days with the NAACP and civil rights organizations. There's chapters in there about how she led North Carolina to a better place. Chapters in the book about her national impact. But the most chapters in the book are the days she spent in Greensboro. The days she spent making sure that New Zion was the New Zion she wanted it to be. The days she spent on county commissioner in every little thing, the food programs, everything that we talked about. And if you ever had a conversation with Carolyn, it wasn't just a conversation. At the end of the conversation, there was a challenge of things to do. This is what you need to do. So she sent me here today to say, the book ain't over. Right? Amen. The book ain't over. The book is just starting. It was an autobiography. It's about to be a biography because we are going to write the next chapters of these books. You see, everything that Carolyn Q. Coleman lived for, worked for, struggled for, fought for, died for, cried for, went to jail for, is all on the line today. Everything. Every civil rights we have, every woman's right, every human right, every constitutional right that she died for is on the line today. And it is our job to write the next chapters of these books. Skip said if she can help somebody, her living won't be in vain. It is our job today to make sure Carolyn's living is not in vain. And when you go out and you fight harder than you've ever fought, you register more people than you've ever fought, you go to jail, you do whatever it takes like she did, and you get lost and you get tired, come back to Carolyn Coleman Way and find your direction and go fight some more.
I remember some things about her. One was I went down to Savannah, Georgia, when they honored her for being one of 3 students who walked out of high school and went down and sat down at a lunch counter that was segregated. I mean, this is how deep her fight for civil rights go. I was with her when the governor of this state, Christie, honored her as the humanitarian of the year. And those were just 2 big honors that I happened to be a part of it, but she had so many more from the national NAACP, where she served on the national board. I met her, she was working in North Carolina for the national NAACP. She actually, when I said that she made it better, she made it mighty. The way that we raised money to run the state conference came about through Kelly Alexander and her, at her advice. The many things that we've done, even our bylaws for the state of North Carolina, she had a hand in that.
My grandmother simply made an effort to serve and to return the gifts that God gave her and so much more. The Honorable Angel herself taught me that service is the rent that we pay on this earth, and if you have not served, you are not entitled to die. And I feel that that is what the Carolyn Coleman Way is predicated on, serving with conviction and not convenience. I feel that legends are not built, but forged with time and pressure, like a diamond. And our matriarch was our diamond in the rough. She never let her disability hinder her ability to be whomever she needed to be, whether that was a mom, a grandmom, friend, assistant, chairwoman, occasional minister. Come on, Pastor Coleman. Watching her vigorously implement policies, demand inclusion, and combat justice on every spectrum showed that she saw a need. And we too see this need and will continue to uphold her legacy. And now, thanks to you, it's such an easier story to tell. This is such a high, well-deserved honor. This is immortal and will be here after all of us are gone. I do wish that she was able to be here, but on behalf of the Coleman family, we want to just thank you for everything. Thank y'all.